I bet you didn't think Utah would be the higher-ranked team entering their matchup against USC, especially when you realize Utah's played all 6 of their games without star quarterback Cam Rising. But yet here we are. The 14th-ranked Utes travel to take on the 18th-ranked USC Trojans in a game that is massive not just for the Pac-12 standings, but maybe even the college football playoff race. The Utes beat USC twice last year, winning the Thriller in Salt Lake City and then winning the Pac-12 championship and ultimately keeping USC out of the college football playoff. So can they make it another win, 3 in a row, over the Trojans? Or will USC bounce back following their 28-point loss to Notre Dame? That's the question we're going to answer today. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys. We're so glad that you could join us today. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and check out everything down in the description below, including our expert picks, where we are beating out over 80% of the national handicappers with a 43-18 run against the spread, hitting 63% on the year, 70% during that run, hitting over 75% in our best bet section. If you want guaranteed winnings, guys, if you want the best spread picks in the country for the lowest prices in the country, for the best customer service in the country, this is the place for you. We can promise you that you will not regret this, guys. It's a full year-long subscription, full 365 days. It's never too late to sign up for the expert picks, and we want you guys to sign up, take advantage of them, and start winning big with us today, and win big with us on our pick that we're about to give you right now. So, take a look at this game, guys. Utah comes in at 5-1, the lone loss to Oregon State on the road. USC comes in at 6-1, the lone loss just this last week against Notre Dame on the road. It's a really interesting matchup. It's a really, really interesting one because USC is still in the thick of the Pac-12 title hunt. Notre Dame was not a conference loss. Utah already does have a conference loss. So a loss for the Utes pretty much eliminates them from Pac-12 title contention. A loss for USC doesn't eliminate them from that, but it does eliminate them from college football playoff contention, since it would be 2 losses overall. So a lot's at stake here in this game for both programs. And take a look at Utah right now. The biggest question is, where the heck is Cam Rising? Where is Cam Rising? Or better yet, when will we see Cam Rising? At the time of this video, we are not expecting him to play again on Saturday because he hasn't played all year long. He got really injured in that Rose Bowl loss to Penn State all the way back in January. It's almost been a full year. And every single week, it seems that we're speculating. Well, he's been cleared. Oh, he's suiting up. Oh, he's doing this. And he has yet to see the field this season. You cannot but wonder, number one, is he better? Is he fully healthy and truly ready to go? Or is Kyle Whittingham like, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? I know we'd love to have him out there. He might add his extra element to our offense, but we're winning without him. Let's keep riding with Nate Johnson. Let's keep riding with Bryson Barnes. The passing game's averaging less than 150 passing yards per game, but you know what? The running game's picking up the slack. They're averaging nearly 173 rushing yards per game. JaQuinton Jackson leading the way there. Last week against California, they held the Golden Bears to, 14 points on the day defensively and rushed for over 300 yards as a team. Again, it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, we'd love to have that extra element in the passing game. Cam Rising would give them so much more. But right now, Utah's still winning without him. They're finding ways to win. And that's what good teams do, is even when someone big goes down, they find a way to win. That's exactly what Utah's doing. It's not always the flashiest way. It's not always the prettiest way. But yet here they are, ranked 14th in the country, sitting at 5-1. And a win over USC would prove to me that they are legitimate college football playoff contenders with or without Cam Rising, if he ever sees the field again. USC, on the other hand, you look at their offense. Look, they had a bad outing against Notre Dame. Everybody has them, right? You can't, I think, fixate too long or too much on what we saw in South Bend on Saturday night. Credit to Notre Dame and what they did against the Trojans. They deserve all the praise in the world for that, forcing 5 turnovers on USC, forcing 3 interceptions off of Caleb Williams in the first half alone. It was an impressive victory for Notre Dame. It was an impressive defensive performance. And it was one of the worst offensive performances we've seen from a Lincoln Riley-led team, and certainly one of the worst offensive performances of Caleb Williams' career. The Trojans, again, lost 48-20. They were held to 302 yards on the day. But Caleb Williams still has already passed for over 2,000 yards. Is still passed for 23 touchdowns. Is still averaging over 330 passing yards per game. And the USC offense is still averaging nearly 500 yards per game. This is still a very explosive offense. Still a very electric offense. And if you think that they're going to come back after what they did against Notre Dame and perform like that again, well, you're mistaken. Good teams don't have bad games 2 times in a row. It's not going to happen. A great player like Caleb Williams, I don't think, is going to have disastrous games 2 times in a row. You've got Caleb Williams. You've got 9 guys that have at least 100 reception yards. You've got Marshawn Lloyd in your backfield. This is still a very good USC offense. It is still one that I genuinely believe will bounce back against Utah. However, it should be noted, You could make the argument that Utah's defense is better than what USC just saw against Notre Dame. So while I do think USC plays a lot better offensively, while I do think they bounce back, I don't think they're going to commit 5 turnovers. I don't think they're going to get held to just 302 yards. They are going to be in for a very, very, very tough test. And I think they're going to go out there maybe drop 40, 50 points on Utah. Well, I don't know if that's going to happen. Because you look at Utah's defense, guys. This is a team that's allowing 278 yards per game. That's it. They're allowing about 211 through the air, 67 on the ground. Teams do not run against the Utes. You just don't. You don't really find much success on the ground against Utah, which is fine because USC is a team that, yes, has used the run game quite a bit. Yes, is solid on the ground, but wants to air it out. They want to air it out with Caleb Williams. They want to use that. They want to utilize his mobility as well, but more so through the air. Utah has 22 sacks on the year. They have forced 10 turnovers on the year. 2 of those turnovers have resulted in touchdowns for the Utes. The most yards they've allowed all year long was 358, and that was in their lone loss to Oregon State, a game they only lost 21-7. The most points they've allowed all year long was 21 points to Oregon State in Corvallis, and we know Corvallis is a very, very difficult place to play. So this defense, guys, is stingy. They don't allow many big plays. They rely on forcing negative plays, forcing you into second, third, and long situations, forcing you into a lot of mistakes. And obviously, give credit not just to defense, but Utah special teams as well, pinning these teams back deep into their own territory and allowing for maybe Utah's offense, which isn't all that great, allowing for them to have shorter fields when they get the ball. So it's really a defensive and special teams effort combined for Utah that's led to a lot of their success. And they have one of the toughest tests of the year, though, guys. While their defense has been phenomenal, USC is the best offense they have seen all year long. They've played Florida, they've played Baylor, they've played Cal, they've played Oregon State. Those are great. But USC's offense is the best offense they've seen all season long. So while the defense is great, we haven't seen them against this type of offense. USC, on the other hand, we know their defense is god-awful, and we can leave it at that and move on. We'll give you a little bit more. They're allowing 397 yards per game, 245 through the air, 152 on the ground. That is your key number. Right there, that is your key number. If you're USC and you want to bounce back and you want to win this game, you have to stop the run. For the love of all things holy, stop it. If you do that, you win the game. Because here's my logic here. Right now, again, as of this video, we don't know if Cam Rising is playing or not. Our gut's going to say he isn't. Just from my gut. If he doesn't play, the passing game's not there for Utah. They're not going to go into the Coliseum and light you up through the air without Cam Rising. If Cam Rising does somehow play, I would venture to say the guy's going to be a little bit rusty, having not taken a snap since January. Bit of a concern there. So I'm not too worried about the Utah passing attack against USC. Even though their passing defense is terrible, I'm not too concerned about it. What I am concerned about is facing a Utah team that just rushed for over 300 yards last week. A USC defense that's giving up over 150 rushing yards per game. If they allow Utah to come in there and hit that 150-yard mark on the ground, watch out. This game's going to be really, really close, and I would not be shocked if Utah goes on the road and pulls off the win. So if you're USC, stop the run, stop the run, stop the run. Find a way to bottle them up, stack the box, force Nate Johnson, force Bryson Barnes, whoever it is, to beat you through the air, because I don't think they can do it. I don't think they can do it. And if Cam Rising under center, yeah, he can definitely beat you through the air because he did it last year twice. Did twice. But I would be concerned about his lack of mobility. I would be concerned about him being rusty. Again, first real game action since that Rose Bowl. So what's going to happen, guys, in the Coliseum on Saturday night? This is an epic game and a massive game for both. Like we just mentioned, if Utah wins this game, they are not just still in the Pac-12 title race with only one conference loss. They should be taken seriously as a college football playoff contender. Keep in mind, they do get to host Oregon later on this year. The win for Utah will do all of that for them while eliminating USC from college football playoff contention, which would be shocking to see the Trojans eliminated this early. USC, though, they have an opportunity to bounce back. They have an opportunity to say, hey, what happened against Notre Dame last week was horrible. It was terrible, but that's not who we are. We are a much better team than that, and we're going to show that against this Utah team. They have an opportunity to get this massive signature resume-boosting victory before they enter a gauntlet of a schedule coming up as they play Washington, Oregon, and UCLA in the last 4 weeks. 3 of those games in the final 4 weeks. Caleb Williams, guys, ultimately to me is not going to have 2 bad games in a row. He's going to bounce back in a big way and light up a Utah secondary that, again, has not seen a quarterback or an offense of this magnitude all season long. Finally, I'll mention this. You don't like that pick? Listen to this. Utah is a much different team away from home. There's some magic in the air in Salt Lake City. On the last 3 years, dating back to 2020, that COVID season, back to 2020, Utah is 18-1 at home. That includes this year. 18-1 at home. They are 8-8 in true road games. Utah does not play well away from home. And yes, we know they've won in the Coliseum before. They've played USC tough in the Coliseum before. And I do think they played USC tough this time around. But they will not emerge with a victory. USC bounces back in a big way, gets a good close win by, I would say, no more than 13 points over Utah. The Trojans are not done yet. They might be in a few weeks, but they live to see another day with a massive win over Utah. It will eliminate the Utes from Pac-12 title contention, meaning we will guarantee ourselves a new Pac-12 champion in 2023. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and of course, check out everything down in the description below, including those expert picks over on our website, thegridironexpert.com. Again, a 43-18 run right now. Do not miss out on those guaranteed winnings and the hot streak that we have going right now. Again, the link for that down in the description below. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.
Yeah.